Hello lords and ladies, it's Private Yorkie back from the front. It's crazy out there. I got lighting problems in here, so it's a bit darker. Anyway, let's get crazy in here and go back to Wrath of the Righteous. With our killing time run. Not that one, can you? Now, time for us to go over to... We're still sorting out the thiefling's quest, I think. Hang on, we lost some progress by the look of it. Don't think it's saved right. Oh, maybe we just didn't go in here. That could be. Yeah, we all get tired sometimes, love. Get over it. Show me what you have. Bulk selling. There's a traitor who's the informant among the thieflings. I think I read this out yesterday. Somebody you didn't save. Alright. Now we need to go to the... He's told us about Longhorns, basically, if I didn't save it yesterday. And a cloak. So now it's time to go to Ancestors and Wonders.
Save the last one for me.
That's them done. So this is where things are stolen from and where Woljif got captured.
Move out. I found
Got a little scroll.
Something.
Hello, is anyone there? You, free at last. I thought I'd be flattened like a pancake under that rubble. Much obliged. Damn, I'm not in any pain, but my head's still foggy for some reason. What's with all the hubbub in the city? The name's Finian. I'm a Pathfinder. No, you're a weapon. If there's anything I can do to help, I will. You're a Pathfinder? That's right, Finian Dismar, Pathfinder and Crusade. This is why I didn't speak to Pathfinder before. We can talk to him about everything, including him. I roam around the world wound wherever my tasks lead me. Scouting mostly, but this last while I've been hanging around in Canabres, waiting until I'm needed again. I'm bored out of my mind, but at least this shop makes for better lodgings than an inn. What I meant was, what are you? What's that supposed to mean? I told you want to know where I hail from, is that it? No, I'm from round here actually. We Khalids of the Star Eye clan fled when the world wound troubles began. But I couldn't stand by while demons wreaked havoc, so I came back. Or did you mean to ask my weapon of choice? My best weapon is every weapon. I'm a skilled, capable fellow. If I do say so myself. I can swing a sword and poke with a spear, but what I'm best at is communicating with spirits. They call people like me Phantom Blades. Phantom Blade, what's that? It's like a spiritualist, but with a twist. It means some spirit took a liking to me at some point. And it can turn into whatever weapon I need. I think that might be you, mate. Handy, eh? I don't need any whetstones or enchantments. Doesn't take up space either. Although, to be fair, it's not a barrel of laughs. The spirits that bestow this kind of power don't come from happy places, and are not exactly bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. They usually appear after great battles that leave few survivors. The city is under attack by demons. Wait, what? The last thing I saw was some thieves breaking in here. Then the guards came, everyone was rounded up, was running around. After that, it's a bit of a blur. Like when things got intense, they dropped the cabinet on me. I couldn't even help the owner. I was lying under the shelves like a dimwit until you came along. If there are demons in Canabres, I think you're like a spirit weapon and you got a blow to the head. Well, head. That's what's going on. The city needs every blade it can get. Hey, do you mind taking me with you? I don't think I can handle this alone. How'd you end up in this shop? Yeah, I've been here so long I don't even remember anymore. You're sitting and waiting for any word from the Pathfinders. Why would you do that? Well, I mean, I know why you'd do it, but if you're the person you think you are, why would you do it? But it looks like everyone has forgotten about me. This shop owner is an old friend of the Pathfinder, so I've taken up residence here. Alright, I'll take you with me. I swear you won't regret it. I'll do all sorts of things. Is there anything your party is missing? A sword, a spear, a board? You'll say the word. Let's turn you into a dagger, shall we? Hail to the adventurers. You know, I've never regretted following you. Everyone seems to revolve around you, like beavers in a mill wheel. I'll have a lot to write in my report to the Pathfinder Society. Although, thinking about it, it's been a long while, and I haven't seen any reports. I want to talk about you. Oh, go ahead. Although I don't really have anything noteworthy yet. Do you realise that you're a weapon? What kind of question is that? I mean, sure, the clerics keep going on about every crusader being a weapon of Eomedae. But I don't speak of myself in fancy words like that. I'm just a lad with 2 arms, You might want to recount that, mate. And more freckles than I'd like. You might want to recount them too. I chose where to go and whom to fight for. I don't want to be someone's weapon. You hear? Well, you're Waldra's weapon right now. Aradan is dead. Now everyone decides their own fate. How do you become a Pathfinder? I've always wanted to be one, ever since I was a kid. I remember I'd go out to the edge of the village at sunset and then just keep walking until I got tired or someone dragged me back by my ear. It was like something was drawing me away from home. My clan wasn't the nomadic kind. Before the wound opened, the idea of travelling anywhere would never have crossed the minds of many of my clan. They were content with their community on their patch of land. But I had always wanted to see what lay beyond the bend in the road, over the familiar hill and beyond the horizon. More horizon, basically, mate. It just keeps shifting. It's not a solid, it's not a permanent set thing. It depends where you are. My father, he wanted to teach me to be a shaman like him. But as soon as I came of age, I was off looking for the Pathfinder Society, and I found it. In Iz, after 3 weeks of travelling on foot, I passed their trials, and they accepted me. My father hasn't spoken to me since, but it's alright. Once he hears my great deeds, he'll come around, someday. Won't bet on it. All I wanted to was to rush off to some faraway land and find treasure trove no one else had yet discovered yet. But I knew I had a duty to Sarkoris. Then the wound opened, the demons, the havoc. In the end, I never went anywhere. But as soon as things calmed down, I'm setting off to Aslant. Ow. On them 2 legs you ain't got. I already decided. Great ancient ruins, that's my kind of life. Being surrounded by wreckage here is depressing, and I'm sure you know it. Do you remember anything from before you ended up in Canabres? There's an uncertainty in Fenenian's voice. I mean, a lot of things happened. I remember how crappy everyone was when the wardstone was placed... crappy. When the wardstone was placed in Canabres. Misspell one word, completely make the opposite meaning. That was some celebration. Fenenian is silent for a few moments, and I remember when the cultists took me, cut down my whole party and dragged me to their ringleader. Didn't know his name. Everyone just called him the Bladesmith. After that, my memory is all fuzzy. For some reason, he didn't sacrifice me or anything. He just knocked me around. Said he'd been looking for a phantom blade for a long time. I don't remember why. How he escaped and what I did, I can't remember that either. Some crusader picked me up from the wound, brought me to Canabres. And that's where I stayed, licking my wounds. Maybe there was a mix-up, and now they think I'm dead. Why else would none of them contact me this whole time? What don't you say? You described what happened decades ago. That's rich. Next you're going to tell me that I've been sleeping for decades. Last year that was. Well, maybe the year before last. I couldn't have been wandering the wound that long. I would have been either dead or an old geezer by now. Nah, quit messing with me. Finian, you need to understand you're not human anymore. Finian's voice sounds concerned. Hey, you feeling alright? Maybe you need to have a lie down. I'm standing right in front of you. Actually, you're not. Waldry's holding you in his hand. Where's Waldry's hand? Go on, focus. Where's Waldry's hand? Or do you think my travels have worn me down so much I've become an animal? Not happening. My folks taught me to stay human. About that. Always, no matter the circumstances. So remember who I am and never shame my ancestors. Are you still able to commune with spirits? Maybe I can. Only they don't want to answer me. I'm still a spiritualist, a phantom blade. My power is within me, but I have this feeling like I'm separated from the spirit world by some kind of transparent wall. I think it's what the weapon you're in. I keep knocking, but no one can hear me, I think. Finian forced a chuckle. Guess all the bladesmith's torture did were number on me. He broke something inside. I want to ask about something else. Tell me about the Pathfinder Society. Oh well, sometimes folks curse our names, calling us opportunists who just want to line our pockets. That's only part of it. You don't deny it. Well, that makes sense. We're travelling explorers, solvers of mysteries and fighters of evil. I mean, good coin hasn't hurt anyone yet, but for folks like me, it's not what matters most. We're curious to see the world, play a part in everything, stick out our nose wherever. Getting into our circle isn't easy. First you must prove that you can endure any place you're sent to, including inside a weapon. But you won't shy away or flee. That's why you never catch a long line of applicants outside any society lodge. Every lodge has a venture captain, and if they approve your application, you're in. And there are many lodges all over the world, but the main one, the Grand Lodge, is located far away, in Absalom. I've never been there myself, but I've heard a lot of stories about it, and about the decemvirate that governs all Pathfinder affairs from there. That's all for now. I should get going. If you feel like chatting, I'm always here. Right. We got a special weapon.
Head on!
Who thinks he's human? Okay, or she's human, whichever. It didn't actually say, did it? Oh no, he said lad. He's human then.
I lead, you follow.
Might be trap, might be treasure.
Alright, so we got nothing special here, and then we got some loot of some kind here. To the little ring that we can sell.
Onwards.
And that's just some empty racks. Here we are. The formerly well-appointed shop now looks in a sorry state. It has been completely ransacked. Lying in the corner next to the scorched wall are soot-covered shards with clay golem's head. The golem's eyes glow in the gloom. Master, code word, and Vidori. Code word is correct. The golem's eyes grow a little brighter. Awaiting orders. Where did you come from? Who created you? This column was created by Gafflin and Son, address 3rd building on the right, Jeweller's Alley, Nerosian, Mendev. Model G504ENE, which stands for Experimental and Enhanced. For all inquiries, contact Mr. Gafflin. Let me just check something. Tell me about any suspicious people who came to the shop in the last week. The column is silent for a moment. 56 individuals entered the shop. Human, female, old, gnome, male, old, human, female. It'd be running off customers all till nightfall. We've got to ask it in a different way. Were any suspicious people tieflings? The column is silent for a while. Tiefling 3. Tiefling male, middle-aged. Tiefling male, young. Tiefling female, young. Describe the young male tiefling. Tiefling male, medium height. Short horns, curling back. Medium length tail, eye colour yellow, hair colour black. Special observations, annoyed master. Horns, hair, tail, that sounds like me, but it's not possible. I know what the security's like here, I didn't come near the place. I'll give you my word, chief. No special observation, subject was unremarkable. Let's see, it can't be me. Describe the female for tiefling. Tiefling female. Above average height, hair long, pale, tail not observed, long horns. Eye colour blue, special observation, scar on nose, baldric with gold stitching. I don't know that one. New arrival most likely. Gold stitching, I wouldn't mind getting to know her a bit better. Describe the middle-aged male tiefling. Tiefling male. Medium height, long horns, medium length tail, eye colour blue, pale colour, skin colour dark, special observations, red hair. Oh, that's our traitor. Yeah, bet your life on it. Charisma drilled it into our heads that we wasn't to go hanging around the shop. Red hair. We've got a couple of gingers, and plenty more who got it out of the bottle. So much for special observations. Golems aren't all the cracked up to be, eh? Maybe its owner knows more. Enough. Golem is silent, waiting on order. Where's your master? Filman Fruliatros, my master, is in his hiding place. Revealing the location of the hiding place is prohibited. Prohibited. Likely ordered himself up in the basement when the commotion started. The entrance should be around here somewhere. Where's the basement in this place? The basement is below me. I guard the basement. Leaving my post is prohibited. I know everything I need to know, and I guess we need to shift him then. Well, we are in the basement now. We got shelves, we got some beer, or whatever it is. Don't really matter, it's just sheep selling stuff. Not like we get drunk, is it? The elderly gnome, so portly as to be nearly spherical. Hey, I know what that feels like. He's curled up on the corner of the basement, shaking. Marauders, bandits, scavengers. Yeah, makes sense for all those things, and much more besides. Before you report us to the authorities, we'd like mind if we have a chat? Please calm down, no one's going to rob you. Oh, I should have done evil. I forgot I'm not on my angel run, am I? I'm on my, probably demon. Oh, no, trickster run. The gnome appears at you. You do look like you're better dressed than the other local thieves and ragamuffins. You came here to tell me the nightmare is over? No, it's not. You're here to steal my riches. Get back. The gnome notices Woljif and his rounded face turns scarlet. You? Woljif, you dirty little sneak thief. You've been sniffing around my shop for years. Finally worked up the courage to rob me, did you? Get out of here. You and your pals have taken everything already, I'm sure. The gnome seems to settle lightly. My name's Felman Fruliatros. I was the owner of this shop, but I'm not sure I can claim to be owner of anything now. I hope at least something's left of it. Oh, come off it. Your shop's fine. It's a bit ransacked, maybe, but nothing that a bit of spit and polish can't fix. Where were you the night of the robbery? Do you think I robbed my own shop? I was in here in the basement. I was told to make it look like I'd left. The Watchers are very keen to get their hands on those thieflings. They seem to be multiplying all over Galarian. So of course I did everything they said, and I've been stuck in this basement since then. The golem wouldn't move away from the door no matter how much I yelled at it. Yeah, there's a reason for that, mate. But then I thought that it was all to the good. Somebody would come by after the guards and cause ruckus upstairs, bellowing like mad, taking advantage of my absence. Tell me about the tieflings that visited the Ancestors and Wonders recently. Why should I? I'm helping the watch. So they haven't got the tieflings? I thought the city's finest were on the job. And they'd, the gnome sighs, you can't rely on anyone. Ask your questions then if it's so important. Tell me about Woljif. Felman's face wrinkled in distaste. Woljif Jeff though, yes? I've known him a long time, though I'd rather not know him at all. He's been skulking around my shop for years, treating the place like a free museum. He always wanted to look at the moon of the abyss. I'd chase him out, but he'd just slink back in again. If he was with the gang that robbed my shop, I'll bet anything he swiped the moon. How come I'm prime suspect? There's a reason for that, Woljif. Whoever betrayed us all, that's the one who got the moon. I want to see it return too, you get me? I don't like the idea of other people who could be mates on it. Tell me about the red-haired tiefling. Velma starts thinking. Red-haired tiefling, I suppose, yes. There was one who came in, spent a long time looking around. He was a person of modest means. I could tell by his clothes, but he asked me to show him an Asimar-made chain mail. He certainly couldn't afford it. That's when I suspected something was off. I checked after he left, but nothing was missing. That put my mind at rest. Okay. I can't remember what he looked like. I didn't get a good look at his face. All I remember, he was wrapped in a green cloak. So long hair, red hair, long horns, red hair, and green cloak. That's it. With that description, we'll surely sniff him out. So I guess we don't. Oh, we have to do the thiefling woman, and then we can leave. I don't really care about her because she's not part of this, is she?
Got it.
And then out we go. Oh, there's something there. Oh, and let's give that to you. And you can have that out.
This war.
And then it's back to the tieflings to identify the culprit. Griffme drums her fingers nervously on her blade. Well, are you going to tell me who it is? I'm ready to give a name. And I know from past, red hair, green cloak, long horns, it's Melrune. You'll pay for this and Hepzimara will get you in the end. Good night. Grab him, take him away. Charisma looks wary, but her early attention has clearly lifted. He confessed someone connected to the cult of Baphomet ordered him to steal the moon of the abyss. The best idea he could come up with would drag us into it. He got the scroll to take out the golem. He betrayed us to Erebeth so that he could swipe the amulet in the chaos. He thought we'd get nicked, and he'd slink off with to meet up with the customer. Found the moon of the abyss. Let me take a look at it one more time. My whole life I've dreamt to fold it in my hand, if only for a second. He said, when he got the shadow display, the window display, that moon was gone. He's lying, of course. He had time to hand the moon off to the person who ordered it. Bloody cultist. I don't really give a toss. I'm just glad we got to the bottom of this. What are you going to do now? Clear out this place. The sooner the better. The city's dying. I don't want to die with it. This city would already have died if not for people who stood up to defend it with weapons in their hands. Go defend it. I'm not stopping you. It's your city. You know, I'm a sneaky person and the right race. You know, I'm a what they call it, thiefling. So can I join the family? With me casting a praising look at you, you didn't do too badly. I'll tell my superiors about you. With me withdraws the ring from her pocket and hands it to you. Yeah, you're not our sister yet. You got potential, no doubt about it. We got a tiefling's ring. And I just got paged, I think. Alright, I will be right back. And we're back. Alright then. Where were we? Sorry, I had an interruption from RL. You're going to be my little sister, of course. I'll be taking the biggest cut of everything you bring in for the first while. That's just what all the siblings do in the family. You'll get used to it. I knew you'd spell good things for me. What are you going to do to the traitor? Charisma nonchalantly picks at a nail with a knife. He'll be sent to visit his distant relatives on a farm. Think about what he did. Probably won't be doing a lot of thinking, will he, on that farm? I have to go. Good decision. I don't plan on hanging around long either. Charisma turns to leave. Sister, Waldiff nervously bites his lips. His cheeks are flushed and his tail is swishing through the air. You've got something. What now? You should be happy to be alive. An apology. You promised to apologise to me loudly in front of everyone. Ah, that. Charisma shrugs indifferently. Oh, sorry, I suppose, for being wrong about you this time. Don't think that just because you didn't act like a jerk this one time, it cancels out the rest of your record. And all about you till next time, Waldiff. That was the most pathetic apology I've ever heard. Charisma's eyes harden, but then she says, alright, fine, I'm sorry, Waldiff. Oh, I think that's the first success. A flurry of emotions pass across Charisma's face. When she finally opens her mouth, her words trickle out slowly. I'm sorry to you two, and to make it up to you here. It pulls out a key from her pocket, and now I'm leaving. Yes, I've got past this part a few times on runs that have had problems, but I've never got the thiefling's key. What's that for? Well, if watched her go, you made some impression on her. I've never seen Sister Charisma back down before. Listen, Chief, when you've got a spare minute, come to see me. Something I want to discuss with you. But for now, let's get out of here. I don't like sitting below ground. Alright, well, not yet. We have key and stuff, don't we? Food, and I bet that door is what we use this key for. There we go.
What's that there?
It's a trap. The question is, where does it go?
Can't hide from me.
There it is.
Done.
Got the ring. And then we got something in the back room. Nothing all that good though. But we got 1,500 gold, that's not bad. Alright, we can get out of there now. Let's just have a look at our weapons. We got that, they're no good, alright. The rings though, we picked up Ring of Sharp Strike. Whenever the wearer of this ring shoots an enemy engaged in melee combat and hits, the enemy suffers a -1 penalty on attack roll. Oh yeah! Hey Lan, we got something for you mate, here you go. And then we got Thiefling Ring. This ring grants this wearer +2 competence bonus on trickery and stealth. That's for me! And it's back to the Defender's Heart. Go sell to him. Let's talk to him first. Who are you? The albino slowly takes measure with his red eyes and finally with a sigh says, Gimel Hawks, vampire. Are you really a vampire? Gimel gives you a long look of reproach and then grudgingly answers, no. How did you end up in the Crusader City? How did anyone end up here? How did you or them? With a huge hand, the tavern keeper gestures to the ragtag group assembled in the room. The world is big, but there still isn't a place for everyone. People who no longer have a life anywhere else, they end up here. Any news in the city? The albino looks around. There are demons everywhere and you showed up. Not any places worth visiting? If you mean place that normal people stay away from, then there are plenty, like the Pitaxian's wine cellar. Gimel pauses, for effect, like the name of the place should make you quiver in fear. It once belonged to a Pitaxian trading house, the King of Ravetti. And then King of Ravetti came to power in Pitax, and property started changing hands. Soon after, the seller's shop assistant was found in a ditch. Not all of him, mind, just his head. Nemirian gangsters had taken possession of the place. They wanted to sell something stronger than wine on the street, and they ended up on the gallows. Then King of Ravetti's number was up. So now, the number at the store stands empty and unclaimed. People say that a headless ghost wanders the place at night, moaning ghoulishly. Ooh. Right, I'm a little confused. Let's talk about a couple of people that are in here and also in Pathfinder Kingmaker. First, Janet Aldori in Pathfinder Kingmaker is an established person. I think it's Janet Aldori. If anyone's watching and knows different, correct me. But she's the one that sets you off on all the quests and stuff, and she's an established sword lord. Here, she seems to be an apprentice sword lord. But King of Ravetti is in power when you done that, and you take him down. Here he's already gone down. So how is one before where you are in there, and one later? I don't get it. Alright, so that's revealed. You're not one for talking. Gimel gives you a long mournful look and says nothing, making the point. I have to go. Haven't Keeper sees you off with a subtle twitch of his pale eyebrows. Alright, Waldif, what you got to say? What you been up to, you sneaky bugger?
Chief, I got something to show you. Ta-da! A real beaut, isn't it?
Waldif comes close and looks around to make sure no one's eavesdropping. He makes a subtle gesture and an amulet on a chain appears in his hand. A silver amulet in the shape of waning moon. Oh, the moon of the abyss. So he did betray the tieflings.
That cuts me deep, Chief. You and I saw who the traitor was. It's just that when we robbed the shop, I went in first and took what I wanted. Nothing wrong with that. Although, of course, I did think about hiding the moon and just taking myself off somewhere warm when all this blows over. But only because I want to see the world. Is it a crime to want to travel? Huh? Is that what counts for treachery these days?
Well, if Charisma found out you'd be travelling to a farm. Waldif is silent for a moment, then a cunning grin crosses his face. Did you really have the amulet this whole time?
Since that night, Chief, Melround didn't even set eyes on it. While he was dealing with the golem, I sneaked past them, and that was that.
Waldif grins, please. Remind me why this item is so important.
Do you really not remember it? Oh, I thought you would appreciate it. It's from the old man Fileman, the owner of the Ancient Trees and Wonders shop. It's the pride of his collection. The Moon of the Abyss, an amulet with a rare crystal crafted by an unknown maker. When I think of how much this thing is worth, it makes my head spin.
Waldif sighs, disappointed. You've been searched by guards. How did you manage to hide the amulet?
Thieves have their ways.
Waldif grins. Why didn't you give the amulet to Charisma right away?
What? So she would slay me right away, you mean? You saw how antsy she was over Canabras and all this. So I did it. I took the Moon of the Abyss. But I didn't go to Erebeth. And Big Sister wouldn't hear my explanations. She doesn't have the time. I even thought I'd hide the moon somewhere, and then when all the noise had died down, I'd go get it and make a run for it. I'm sick of the thieflings. And they never appreciated me anyway.
Why did you steal the Moon of the Abyss? You wouldn't have been able to sell the item so rare anyway.
Why, she asks. It's expensive. Pretty. And you know, it's my amulet, actually. Not meaning I stole it, but I mean, this is my inheritance. My grandma and I were poor. All we had was a jewelry box with the moon in it. She used to store it under the floor in the basement, and she'd take it out sometimes just to look at it. She was always nicer when she had a few drinks in her, so I could ask her things then. One time I asked where she got it from, and she said it was from a demon. You know, the demon who was my grandfather. He said the moon was to be passed down. My ma was good for nothing and nobody, so that's why Grandma decided to keep the amulet for me. She used to say it would be mine when I grew up. But she couldn't wait until I grew up. She squandered my inheritance when she became a drunk. Took it to Fileman's shop and pawned it. He gave her some coppers for it, and she didn't even haggle. Just grabbed them and ran back to the tavern before last orders.
Waldif scowls.
I've been going to Fileman's to look at the moon ever since I was a kid. He chased me away, but I just kept going back, so eventually he gave up. He didn't skimp on security. The place was like a fortress, so he wasn't worried about a street rat like me pinching anything. Even when I got more skilled, I couldn't get any closer to it. One day, I had no one to go with. Another day, there were only oafs who'd never stolen anything more than a church donation box. But when Charisma had planned everything out, I realized I had a chance to get the moon and move away from here. Maybe to Garand. I hear it's warmer there. I've stayed with the family for too long.
Waldiff looks away again. You did the right thing by not giving away the amulet. Stealing from thieves isn't stealing. You have to put yourself first.
Allies, friends, it's all a load of crap. Life brings us together, forces us to make plans, do whatever it is we do, but it's a safe bet that this ain't forever. I might be a traitor, but the others, are they any better than me? Melround had a good reputation in the family. He was trusted, and you see what happened. If you abide by the law, anyone can rob you. So you need to break the law first when no one expects it, and run before you go soft and get too attached.
Waldiff tears up.
Whatever you think, I owe you. I'm not just a thief. I have my own business selling things. Thanks to you, I'm still in the family. And we have the black market sewn up in this city. It's a good way to sell valuables.
Making sure no one is going to see the amulet, take the amulet from him. Waldiff hides it under his shirt and folds his arms on his chest.
So, if you need anything, a scroll or something, just say the word. I have a little portal to our people in Erosian. You put a note there, and you get what you need. I can't get you anything big, but what they do have is all high quality. Nothing's too good for you, Chief. What's mine is yours. For a price, of course.
Right. And I'll say to him. What did you want to ask me about? You showed me with tieflings, right? Demon spawn and all that, so tell me why you're with them? With the Crusaders, with that Arabescal? No better than dirt to them. War always means glory, money and profit. Yeah, but war also gets you killed. How much money are you going to make if you're dead? And glory? Yeah, they'll say, not all tieflings are evil demon spawn. Well, they might not say that. After all, some of them even defended Canabris. So what? The crows will be pecking out your eyes by then. And don't even talk to me about profit. You know, Queen Galfrey, she wouldn't be sending all these crusades if there was nothing in it for her. You think she's going to share with you? Yeah, right. Better off staying out of this crusade business. Alright, that's about it. Now, to finish off, let's go speak to High Law. A tall athletic man greets you. We'll get his story and we'll ask him about Finian. His hair is prematurely grey and shorn close to his head in a military style. He is lean and well groomed and a monocle twinkles coldly in his eye. The bald set of his jaw and his large but agile frame attest that there is a man who is always ready to be on the move. Greetings, I am Hello, Venture Captain of the Pathfinder Society. I am the superior officer among Pathfinders in this region of Mendev. However, the Society is running almost no operations here right now. Besides me, there are almost no Pathfinders here. Actually, I'm only stuck out here because of an old feud with a demon worshipper known as Spinner of Nightmares. I've had to work alone, without the support of the Society, but I've made a lot of acquaintance among local mercenaries and daring fighters. If you need any good fighters for an honest cause, just talk to me. You know anything about a Pathfinder called Finian Dismar? I'll rub this in. Let me think. Dismar. I've definitely heard the name before. Of course you are from a Pathfinder too. So you're the chief in these lands now. What about Lady Audrey? When I left for the wound, she had just taken up the position. Hello examines the talking weapon and chuckles sadly. I'm afraid Audrey perished during the Third Crusade. Yes, now I remember. Finian Dismar went missing in the wound at the end of the Second Crusade. His name has been on the list of the fallen for a while. Here I am, alive and well. Writing your list, I'm back and soon I'll file detailed reports about everything that happened to me. Finian's voice is full of joy. I knew it was a misunderstanding, but now everything will return to normal. I need to write to my folks. They'll probably think I'm dead too. Eloshik said sadly, poor lad, but such is the fate of a Pathfinder. We face the unknown, but sometimes the unknown wins and our minds cannot take it. Tell me about your confrontation with the Spinner of Nightmares. It all began with a task of the Pathfinder Society. I arrived in Erosian with my team to investigate the sudden death of the famous Crusader Baron Falrun. We soon focused on the hospital for the wealthy, where Falrun was being treated shortly before his death. It turned out that a gang of Baphomet's cultists, calling themselves the Labyrinth of Mind, had gotten a foothold in the hospital. They were obsessed with twisting the minds of their victims and targeted fragile people too weak to resist. The hospital was filled with perfect victims, isolated for weeks from the outside world, completely helpless, and when they returned they were different, almost normal. But the moment they heard a certain phrase, something darker woke in their minds, and they transformed into servants of Baphomet, ready to lie, betray, and even kill. The labyrinth of mind was preparing to infiltrate the elite circle of Mender, but Baron Falron stopped them. He was too loyal to his oath, and too resistant to their spells. He fought for his freedom until the strain broke his heart. We opened and cleaned the city of Baphomet's pit vipers. Their den was a cradle of sin and filth. Then he cast spells on each other, and their loathsome fantasies stepped real from the minds into the world. They dreamt of horrible and forbidden things, and they fought like mad. We burned the place to the ground and slaughtered everyone we could. But the leaders of the cult were able to flee, and they were set upon revenge. They abducted my daughter Lowry, who served under my command in the Pathfinder Society. They left me a note full of tart insults, mockery, and sneers. From that note, I learned the name of my enemy, the Spinner of Nightmares. A few months back, I confirmed that she was the leader of the Labyrinth of Mind. My hunt had begun. I would get Lowry back at any cost. Hello grinned his teeth, with bulldog determination. I want to know more about you. What exactly do you have in mind? I'm a common Pathfinder. There are many others like me. Fate and my orders brought me to the land. How did you end up here? I was working on an assignment for the Pathfinder Society, and then a demon worshipper named Spinner of Nightmares abducted my daughter Lowry. For the past 3 years, I've been trying to save her. During this time, I've become a specialist in scouting demon territory, and I've even planted agents among the cultists. Truth be told, in pursuing the Spinner of Nightmares, I've been acting more on behalf of Queen Galfrid and the Pathfinder Society. It's a long story. Maybe I'll tell you the rest of it some other time. Hilo frowns grimly. The Spinner of Nightmares is a true spawn of the Abyss. I've fought her many times, but I've never been able to seize her by the throat. Tell me about your daughter. Hilo smiled, showing his healthy white teeth. As a girl, Lowry was just an angel. We lost her mother early on. She was left to follow my example and drift to its little idea how to talk to a 10-year-old girl. But even with such questionable parenting, Lowry managed to grow into a wonderful girl. Brave, smart, beautiful, and entirely unbearable. She's always argued with me about everything. When Lowry was 18 and told me that she was going to be a Pathfinder, all I said was alright. I knew there was no use to try and talk her out of it, and she was a fine Pathfinder. Hilo's fist clenched with a painful sounding crack. I'll never forgive the Spinner of Nightmares for taking my girl from me. Tell me about the Pathfinder Society. The Pathfinder Society is a global organisation that unites opportunists and adventurers of all kinds. We explore the world and uncover its secrets, travel, and sometimes face down threats. In times of trouble, the last becomes our primary focus. We're driven by curiosity and the desire to make the world a better place. And of course, some seek profit for hunger or glory. But in any case, it's hard work. They might send you anywhere on a mission. Weaklings have little place in our society. It's more for seasoned fighters. There are society lodges in many cities. The closest one is in Erosian. They're each led by adventure captains, lads like me. The Grand Lodge is in Absalom, the centre of the world. The Decemvirate sits there. The anonymous council of elders. Yep, no more questions. And I don't really want to hide. I want to go with the companions we can get. Not entirely sure how that's going to work out long term. Anyway. We're finished in here for now.
Move out.
Unfortunately, yep, that's it for now. So we'll be back next time when we head to the market square. And from there, to the Blackwing Library to see if we can find the stranger. The whatever they call him. Storyteller. So I've been Yorkie, Private Yorkie. You've been wonderful. The 2 hours been intermittently annoying, and life's been interrupting. See you then on.